Hi guys, my name is Nastya. Today I will brew a truly spring and super aromatic beer called Hazy New England IPA. I have already brewed this style of beer before, but this time I will brew New England IPA with a different recipe. A distinctive feature of the New England IPA is using large amount of aromatic hops, which must be added on the active fermentation phase as well as on dry hopping. Thanks to the interaction of yeast and hops cultures, biotransformation occurs during fermentation, and as a result of which very unusual tastes and aromas are obtained. After my first experience of brewing New England IPA, I certainly made some interesting notes. This style is considered perishable. It loses its features with time. That's why you have to drink it soon as possible. I experienced it following. The longer it has been aged in bottles, the softer its bitterness became, and the aroma of hops became not so much vibrant. Beer became transparent. I left several bottles of New England IPA for aging, which me and my friends tasted not so long ago. What happened to it after almost 6 months of aging? It became crystal clear. The bitterness became soft and balanced, the aromas became softer, but at the same time they all remained there. Friends say that my New England IPA after aging turned into a very tasty soft IPA. Mash and bill for this brewing is very simple. We need pale ale malt, oatmeal, barley and wheat flakes. The warm weather is coming soon, so it is time to brew New England IPA, and it is going to be ready right in time. For correct choosing of ingredient for brewing New England IPA, you have to understand what you have to get as a result. Correct New England IPA looks like orange juice. That's why I chose base malt together with non-malted flakes, which will give us haziness. In this brewing we will have 3 temperature steps. First 52 Celsius for 15 minutes, second 68 Celsius for 1 hour, third it's mash out 78 Celsius for 5 minutes, and then we have boiling for 1 hour. I set up brewery, pour in water and malt. Don't forget to stir and mash every 20 minutes. Now we have to wait for mash out. 15 minutes passed. Let's look at how filtration goes. Filtration is good, but not perfect. I believe it is okay for this kind of beer. Let's perform an iodine check. Так. Color doesn't change. Iodine check passed. Refractometer shows 16.2. I will not add hops on boiling. I will add hops on whirlpool and on dry hopping. For this brew I chose 3 types of hops: Idaho Jam, Idaho 7 and Citra, of course, because since last time I loved scents of lychee, pineapple and maracuja that Citra gives. It is important to use extremely aromatic hops with high alpha acid content while brewing New England IPA. Manufacturer describes the aromas of these types of hops as follow. Idaho Jam has received today a unique, beautiful, soft, rich aroma that shines with fruit red berries mixed with citrus fruits, mint, mojito and even powdered sugar. Citrus scents includes grapefruit, melon, lime, passion fruits and lychee. The aroma of Idaho 7 is versatile: tropical fruits and sweet pine with citrus notes, and the taste is juicy with a small amount of marmalade and apricot, which turns into notes of light citrus with hint of black tea. Promising description, isn't it? I just want to try all of them in my New England IPA. I'm going to use ascorbic acid during whirlpool, as it is an excellent antioxidant. Because oxygen is the main enemy of hops. Avoid oxidation of hops and wort during dry hopping. Even a really tiny amount of oxygen can ruin whole batch. I will do home whirlpool with a shovel inserted into a drill. I'm sure that the industrial whirlpool works differently, but in the absence of such equipment and that the last time everything went fine, I will do it again. I will do whirlpool but not a hop stand, because I want hops and protein to settle better on bottom of brewery. I will pour in Citra and Idaho Jam hops on whirlpool 50 grams each. Last time I poured in hops on 85 Celsius, but this time I will do it on 80. I used calculator of bitterness and it showed almost 50% difference in IBU. So please pay attention on temperature during first hop addition on whirlpool. I'm going to cool the wort to 80 degrees and add ascorbic acid together with hops. Then I will drill it for 20 minutes, but make sure that the temperature does not drop below 72 degrees, because this is the temperature of pasteurization and going below this level isn't safe. After the whirlpool, I cool the wort to 18 degrees and as usual let the wort rest for 1 hour. This helps to transfer a wort into a fermenter without problems. I will not use any hop bags or hop spiders, because I find hops extract better when it floats freely compared to handing out in a cage or in a bag. For this brewing I chose Lallemand Verdant IPA yeasts. What verdant yeasts are interesting about? This strain was specially selected in cooperation with Verdant Brewing Company. This is a UK producer of a wide range of craft beers. This English brewery started with 3 home brewers. teamed up to brew popular American beer styles in their homeland, where it was impossible to find such beer. It's like, you know, when you come to an Irish pub and failing to find your favorite Belgian style. If Verdant Brewery became such popular in the UK, I do hope Lallemand Verdant East have to be also perfect. Lallemand Verdant East should give us aromas of apricot and tropical fruits and citrus notes. And these aromas are what we are looking for. I will ferment this beer at a temperature of 18 to 20 degrees. I will start adding hops on dry hopping in the morning of day 3. You need to do it at a moment when fermentation is still active, but not too much. In total, I will dry hop the wort for 4 times, 50 grams each. On the 3rd day, I will add citron. On the 5th day, Idaho jam. On the 7th and 9th day, Idaho 7. Well, this is it. The wort is almost transferred into a fermenter. And now I will pour in this yeast right on top of a foam. I will meet you guys at the tasting. Thanks for watching, subscribe, I wish you good brews and delicious beer. Bye bye.